I'm Jessica.
And I'm Miley.
And we are
Miley Made Me Do It.
Hey ladies, this is your girl Jessica, and I am here with the next option. I don't know if do you call it series, episode? I don't know. But the next Lil Lizard King option on the Salerno, the Salerno pattern, okay? Last time I showed you how to do the bow back option. This time I'm showing you how to do the teardrop crop top option, okay? So, and I'm gonna do something different. Let's see. Well, I'm not gonna do anything different. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to. Okay, so get your bodice, and we're going to put these right sides together. And we're going to sew a 3/8 inch seam allowance to attach along here, the neckline, and the arm circle here. So we're going to keep those open so then we can do our straps. All right, take this to your machine, sew a 3/8 inch seam allowance, and we'll be right back. Okay, now let's get our back bodice. And let's see, make sure. I have it on this one. All right, make sure when you get your back bodice that you transfer those marks. Okay, the little marks. I use my purple pen, but it's on there. And that's where we're going to put these right sides together. Just like this. And we're going to sew, well, we're going to stop here at this mark. That's where we're going to stop sewing there. We're going to sew along this top edge here. Okay, so we're going to take this to our machine and we're going to sew a 3/8 inch seam allowance from here to that mark on both sides. All right, and I'll be back. All right, and here are our, it's very long, here's our straps here. So it's our strap. You're going to have one of those, and what it tells us to do is to fold it right sides together, just like this, and we're going to sew and then turn it right side out, okay? And once we turn it right side out, just make sure you go back to your cutting chart and get the correct cut, size cut, okay? Because when you're sewing this, it will stretch. So take this to your machine and sew. Okay, so since we're doing the crop top version, what the pattern tells us is that we need to, fold, I guess this right here would be, let's see, using a stretch stitch. Fold the top raw edge of the tier 3/8 inch towards the lining. Mine are the same, so it doesn't really matter. Towards the lining, and then it tells us to pin to hold using the stretch stitch, preferably the lightning bolt stitch or a triple stitch. And sew 3/8 inch seam allowance along this part. So we're gonna fold this over like this, and where that little marking is, you're gonna pin. Okay, fold this one over too, and pin. I don't know if I want to do the crop top, because she's not gonna wear it. If I'm gonna do it, I want something that she gonna wear. I may switch up on you, because if you're gonna do the crop top, you just have to sew the 3/8 inch seam allowance along this part and then sew here. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the crop top. I don't know. I want something that she can wear, and I'm not, I don't know. We're gonna see. So let's take this to our machine. If you're doing the crop top version, just sew along this straight edge here, but you're gonna do a 3/8 seam allowance using that stretch stitch to make your little curve here. So let's do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it tells us to trim off our seam allowance. Turn it my way. All right. Trim off our seam allowance for it, and then it tells us to turn it right side out. Now this is, and then make sure you push this out, and then you're gonna iron it. What is it? All right, let's find something that we can push this out. Let me go read it. Yeah. All right, yeah, there you go. So you can go iron it. I'm gonna go iron it real quick to get it laid down flat, and because we're gonna have to do a top stitch over our little circle so that can be our casing for it. So I'm gonna iron, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have it ironed. Like I said, I'm not gonna do the crop top, but if you did the crop top version, that right there will be enclosed, okay? So after ironing it and turning it right side out, ensuring that it's nice and crispy, we're going to use a 1/2 seam allowance sewn around the teardrop. Okay, the teardrop casing. It says it may be necessary to use pins to pin the layers in place so they won't shift. Okay, so we're gonna go take this to our machine and sew a 1/2 seam allowance along this. So it tells us to pin. I'm gonna do what the pattern tell me, because every time I don't, I just be messing up all the time. So I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to pin this, but I'm just gonna pin it. Okay. All right. So take this, and we're gonna sew 1/2 seam allowance, and I'll be right back. All right, that's what it looks like. Now it says locate the strap and attach the safety pin to one end and run it through the casing. Got my strap here. I just use a regular straight stitch, maybe like a long stitch, to do my casing. All right, okay. All right, now let's see what our next step tells us. We just want to make sure that we have the same, have it the same. Okay, so now it tells us to, I'm gonna bring this down some, it's gonna be coming out, but we need to get our bodice piece here, and we're gonna open it up, and we're going to cross our straps. Okay, so get you a safety pin, and we're going to thread our straps into our bodice there, here. and then cut down our seam allowance. All right. Just like that. So let's take this to our machine, and we're going to sew a 3/8 seam allowance on it. Trim down our extra fabric here with the strap showing. And we're gonna turn our bodice right side out. And I'll be right back. All right, so I have my bodice attached to my teardrop back bodice. Okay, so now what the pattern tells us to do is we're going to attach the two. So here is, I'm gonna separate my my front bodice. All right, take my back bodice and I'm going to put it here. I need to find some of that tape though that they are asking for, telling us that we can use. Put it right just like that. Then take our bodice piece and our back bodice piece, and we're gonna put it and we're gonna sandwich those in using a 3/8 seam allowance. We're gonna sew the sides, okay? And I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. All right, and our back bodice is done. Our teardrop bodice is done. So you can take this to your iron and just go and steam it if you would like. So the next option, you will be attaching your skirt. So thank you so much for sewing with me. Y'all have a good week. See ya.